Hi Sagittarius, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Justice. Okay, so we have Justice and we have Knight of Cups here. This can be wanting to make a move to make things right. This can be a move ultimately that's made on behalf of peace and harmony. It can be equality. This can be something like, if there had been wrongdoing, there can be an owning up to that. There can be an apology. There can be asking to work together. This can also be a proposal of some sort too. This can be asking about a contract. That can be connected with this too. We also have the World here as well. This can be a movement that's happening. Whatever it is, when we have Justice and we have Knight of Cups, this is doing something from a place where there really is a desire for things to be steady and for things to be sustainable and for it to be like fair and whatnot. So that's going to be the main thrust of that. And this can also be too about like repetitively making moves that are connected with that. What I have in mind when I'm making moves for myself is that I want to feel at peace and feel like my life is reflective of a sense of harmony that I know is truly possible, and I'm making conscious efforts to be doing that. This can be following your heart and doing so from a place of like wanting to be in a place of congruence with yourself emotionally. And having the World here, there can be a new chapter that's connected with this. This can also be something that's accomplished. What I also see going on here too is that this is about feeling how you feel in relation to your values, honoring them, and making moves that are connected with that. So at the end of the day, you can feel at peace with things. So whether this be a bunch of little moves that are being made, or like many steps that are being taken, or this is a bigger gesture that's being made, that is the point of this. To establish something here. Which can take some time. This can be too wanting to get things to be back to normal as well. It can be, there can be ownership that's involved in this too. It can be saying, I'm looking at things and I'm seeing that I don't think that this is particularly functional and I want to do something about that. I want to change that. Or I see that I haven't been being the most cooperative here, so I'm going to make a move on behalf of like me wanting to be more cooperative and embody that energy. There can be more of a teammate energy here, more of a collaborating energy here that we see. And relationships and contracts of all sorts can be connected with this. You may not know exactly where this is going to go. That may just be what it is for now. There's an emotional tethering to all of this. This really is about wanting to be in a place where one feels that there truly is a sense of harmony emotionally that one is feeling, and so there is going to be an honoring of values here that has to happen in order to really feel that, in order to feel like things are functioning the way that they're meant to be, really at top quality here as well, because it's not always easy to get the balance right, and this is all about getting that balance right, especially from a place of feeling and moves that are made on behalf of what you're feeling, understanding what the messages are that you receive, and then how to take action on behalf of those messages and getting it right, getting the equation right. And that maybe that wasn't something that you were doing before. There can also be things about like honesty, you being honest with yourself, you living your life honestly, whatever that means for you, and wanting to do this, and it allows you to feel more connected with yourself and connected and in tune with yourself. Feel like you're really on the same page with yourself. Thinking about your life and the broader story. I definitely get this sense with Justice and the Emperor, knowing that this is on you, this is your responsibility. If you want to make this happen, you have to be the one to do it. This feels like a strategic move that's being made, and one that's coming from a place of like really wanting to feel like at peace within your life, and especially on an emotional level. That's gonna be something, this can be like on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a psychological level. It all has to do with the internal and how things feel, and that there's that balance there. So this can be things that are being edited. This can be like, maybe I've been giving too much. Maybe I've been taking too much. Maybe I've been in things that aren't really compatible with what I want. Or maybe I haven't been most cooperative with the messages that I've been receiving. Maybe I haven't totally been following through. Maybe I've been trying to get away from it. Maybe I didn't want to see those things. Maybe I didn't want to look at those things. Maybe I didn't want to take action on this. Having that energy of Libra there can be not wanting to create waves there and then suffering because of it, and feeling like you're not in alignment with your core values then, and then feeling out of place because of that, and knowing that something is wrong, because your natural state is going to be in a place of balance, and that's going to come from you moving in congruence with your authenticity. So it feels like getting to know yourself better, connecting with that, understanding what steps need to be taken if this is what you're going to be doing. And I think also taking responsibility for the choices that you're making as well, the moves that you're making, what you're saying too, that can be part of this as well. I'm remembering now that this is a Sagittarian reading, but for a minute there, I really felt some very strong water energy. And because we have Knight of Cups, we have Queen of Cups, I'd say that on a level of feeling, this is about, the focus is not on how things look, the focus is on how things feel to you. What you know to be true within yourself, and what everything feels like from that part of you that is able to see through the facade or see down below the surface. And this is an area of your life where you're learning to step up and where you're learning to step in. And now you are ready for this. And I'm seeing too that with everything that's been thrown at you, making your way through this process when it has not been easy. I think a lot of tough lessons have been learned, a lot of harsh experiences have been completed, and that now you're at a place where you're ready to advance beyond that. We have Libra here, and we have Sagittarius. We also have the Moon, and we have Aries here too. and Venus. So we have the Emperor and the Empress. Okay, for those of you that you can be making a move here, you can be making the move, you can be receiving something. For those of you that are making the move, and reverse it if that's right for you, this can be about wanting to do something. It can be to make things right, or it can be to make a gesture here, like wanting to get involved in something. Justice can speak about relationships and whatnot. There can be a message that you're receiving. There can be a message that you're sending. It can have to do with a new chapter potentially that would be opening up. It can be the beginning of something. I feel like there is a taking time to understand things as it relates to the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the part of you that senses things, that knows things, that can tune into things on a deeper level and understand them if only we are willing to connect with that. It is the divine knowledge that we are connected with, the cosmic knowledge that we are connected with, the self-knowledge that we are connected with. And this can also be something in a way that's developing emotionally, a chapter that's developing emotionally. It's one that strengthens your intuition as well. Making moves, thinking about your future, thinking about the way that you're going to feel about that later on. What are you doing now? How are you going to feel about that later? Is that something that you're using to build with? Right now can feel like a lot. Maybe there's a lot to do, or there's a lot going on, or this just feels maybe heavy more so emotionally for you, or it can be like, I'm trying to keep the balance and it feels extremely difficult to be doing so right now, but I'm doing everything that I can. Maybe you also feel too like you've been pushing out a lot. Maybe you feel like you're not at your most energetic because of... I feel like there's this standard now that you've developed for yourself, and it can feel like... it can feel tiring. You can feel fatigued because of it. That Knight of Cups is gonna be making moves, like, I'm feeling this is what I'm gonna do, I thought about it, this is making sense for me, these are the moves that I need to make here, and I'm recognizing that. But having that Ten of Wands can be, but this is like stressing me out, or this is a difficult experience that I'm having, or this is something that I feel is draining, it's something that feels overwhelming to me, maybe emotionally overwhelming at times. Knowing though that this is connected with your empowerment, and this is connected with you building the life that you want, and that is why it's worth it. It doesn't mean that it isn't difficult though. It feels like a lot of effort has to be put in order to create harmony. In order for balance to be there. So maybe this is even somewhat of a correction that's happening, where there's a lot of work that needs to be put in now, and then things are going to stabilize. Things don't feel like they're stabilized currently. Feels like it's moving in that direction where you're going to be in a place where you do feel like things are aligned. That will be the feeling when you're feeling out things within your life, is that things are where they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to be. There's nothing really lingering that needs to be taken care of. You're in the process of taking care of those things right now. Stabilizing yourself as much as you can right now can be something that helps you, and this can even be like having as much of a routine as possible right now can be something that helps you. And I think preserving your energy in a way where you're being very deliberate about the ways that you're using it, so not to overextend yourself. I'd say that you're on track and that you're moving forward, and things can feel challenging right now, and it can feel... I get the feeling of overwhelm more than anything from the Ten of Wands, and especially on a level where you can feel like maybe this feels like it fries your... that part of you that guides you through processes, that breaks things down, that understands, that helps you know this is the way to go, or that's the way to go, or like I'm receiving this now and then I'm going to take that in and I'm going to do this with it. That part of you can be feeling overwhelmed right now. So that part of you that tunes in and gives you a sense of direction can be feeling like there is a lot going on, and can feel like it is I think, heavy cross to bear at this point. Even though I'm seeing you be on track here, there can be a part of you that knows very much that this is not sustainable. I also don't get the feeling that this is meant to be sustained, and it seems to like this is about even balancing that part of things. How do we move forward and move with the motivation of justice behind us, which again is going to be that balance, like keeping a balance, keeping myself mentally balanced, emotionally balanced, making sure that things are balanced within my heart. It can be within my body, it can be within my routine, it can be within my diet, it can be within my relationships, all of these different things. How do I do that without going overboard? And how do I dial it back when I feel like I'm starting to go overboard? With the High Priestess and the Ten of Wands, you can be taking in too much information. This can be trying to do too much at once, and you can be overwhelming yourself. It's not going to feel good. You will feel anxious. You will feel ungrounded. That's going to be a signal that you need to ground. It can be that you need to pause, that you need to take a break. You'll have a hard time regulating your emotions as well. It can kind of feel like just doing a lot of like punchy types of energy. Even if it's just an experience you're having within you where you don't feel settled, it's telling you to cut that back. And it's going to help you move through this, because that is not a sustainable way to work through. And I feel like it's more of a feeling that you would have. It's not necessarily about like what you're doing externally. It's about the way that things are feeling and how you're processing. And this feels like a bit too much overload, and it's going to get overheated. So I feel too like this can even be telling you to slow down a bit when you need to, or dial it back when you need to, when you start feeling like you're going overboard. I get this feeling too of I want to get there, I want to get there, I want to get there. And so there can be a desire to move through this as quickly as possible. I don't think that that's always most effective. And so not biting off more than you can chew here comfortably. And it's not that you can't do it. It's like, why put yourself through that? Kind of makes it more of a miserable experience, and it doesn't have to be like that. This can be something that you enjoy. It doesn't have to feel so stressful. You don't have to use your energy in that way. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.